You close the front door behind you and head out for the day. Maybe you're going to work, school, or simply running a few errands. As you leave, your cat appears completely relaxed. They're sitting on the couch, grooming themselves, or quietly staring out the window. Everything looks normal. But what if your cat's emotional response to your departure actually started several minutes before you ever touched the doorknob? Most cat owners focus on what happens after they leave the house. They wonder whether their cat sleeps all day, plays with toys, or waits by the window. But according to animal behavior experts, the most important moments may actually happen before the door closes. Every single day, cat parents unknowingly perform a series of actions that their cats have learned to recognize. Picking up keys. Putting on shoes. Grabbing a backpack. Walking toward the door. To us, these are ordinary activities. To your cat, they're signals. And over time, those signals can become part of a powerful emotional pattern. Today, we're going to uncover what really happens inside your cat's mind before you leave, why some cats struggle more with separation than others, and the simple changes that can make a surprising difference in how your cat experiences time alone. Let's start with something almost nobody talks about. The touch that changes everything. Most people think comforting a cat means petting them repeatedly. If a cat seems nervous, the natural reaction is to scratch behind their ears, rub their back, or shower them with affection. But surprisingly, one of the most calming forms of contact involves almost no movement at all. A few minutes before leaving, if your cat is already resting comfortably, quietly sit nearby. Place your hand gently on their shoulder or chest and simply leave it there. No stroking. No rubbing. No constant movement. Just calm, steady pressure. At first this may seem unusual, but many cats respond remarkably well to this kind of contact. Scientists have discovered special touch receptors in mammalian skin that respond strongly to slow, consistent pressure. When activated, these receptors send calming signals through the nervous system. The heart rate slows. Breathing becomes deeper. Muscles relax. The body begins shifting away from a state of alertness. Many cats will soften their posture during this type of contact. Some close their eyes halfway. Others lean gently into the hand. These are subtle signs that the cat is feeling safe. Of course, not every cat enjoys this. Some may walk away immediately. That's perfectly normal. The purpose isn't to force affection. The purpose is to offer stability and reassurance before a potentially stressful event. And this becomes especially important because many cats are already noticing signs that you're preparing to leave. Which brings us to a surprisingly common mistake. The goodbye that may actually increase stress. Most cat owners love their cats deeply. And because of that love, they often give a big emotional goodbye before heading out. They crouch down. They speak in a soft voice. They hug their cat. They repeat phrases like, "I'll miss you," or "Be good while I'm gone." From a human perspective, this seems comforting. But cats experience these moments differently. Cats are masters of observation, they pay attention to tiny details in human behavior that most people never notice. When your normal routine suddenly changes and becomes emotional, your cat recognizes that something important is about to happen. And because that emotional interaction often happens right before you leave, it can actually increase anticipation. Instead of feeling reassured, your cat may become more focused on the upcoming separation. For highly attached cats, this effect can be even stronger. These cats often follow their favorite person around the house before departure. They monitor every movement. They watch every step. They seem to know exactly what's coming. And in many cases, they do. Because cats learn routines incredibly quickly. Your cat knows the countdown before you do. Think about your own morning routine. You wake up. You brush your teeth. You get dressed. You grab your phone. You pick up your bag. To you, these actions are simply part of the day. To your cat, they're clues. Over time, cats become experts at predicting patterns. When the same sequence happens repeatedly, they learn what comes next. And for many cats, what comes next is your absence. The moment certain signals appear, the brain begins preparing. Some cats become more alert. Some follow their owner from room to room. Some sit near the door. Others become unusually quiet. What's fascinating is that not all cats show their emotions openly. Some appear completely calm. They may continue grooming. They may curl into a loaf position. They may stare out the window. But inside, their nervous system is already becoming more active. This is one reason many owners underestimate how much their cats notice. Cats are often far more emotionally aware than they appear. And one particular sound can trigger this awareness faster than almost anything else. The sound of your keys. Among all departure signals, keys are often the most powerful. Cats have extraordinary hearing. Their ears can detect sounds far beyond the human range. That tiny metallic jingle you barely notice can sound incredibly clear to your cat. But the real reason keys matter isn't the sound itself. It's what the sound predicts. Over hundreds of departures, your cat's brain learns a simple connection. Keys mean leaving. Leaving means being alone. Eventually, hearing keys can trigger anticipation all by itself. Some cats immediately stop what they're doing. Others move toward the door. Some begin vocalizing. Others simply become more watchful. The keys haven't done anything wrong. But they have become a signal. Fortunately, signals can sometimes be changed. Behavior specialists often recommend occasionally picking up your keys without leaving. Jingle them. Put them down. Sit on the couch. Watch television. Continue your day. Over time, your cat learns that keys don't always predict separation. And that can weaken the emotional reaction. But sound isn't the only sense influencing your cat's emotions. There's another sense that may be even more important. Smell. Your cat's sense of smell is incredibly powerful. In fact, it plays a major role in how safe and secure they feel inside their environment. When cats rub their faces on furniture, walls, corners, and even your legs, they aren't simply being affectionate. They're leaving scent markers. These scents help create a familiar environment. A familiar environment feels safe. An unfamiliar environment feels uncertain. And among all the scents in your cat's world, yours is one of the most important. That's why many cats choose to sleep on your clothes, blankets, or favorite chair. They're seeking comfort through scent. Before a longer absence, leaving a recently worn shirt or hoodie near your cat's favorite resting area can provide a surprising source of reassurance. Many cats will sniff it repeatedly. Some will curl up beside it. Others may even sleep directly on top of it. To humans, it may seem insignificant. To your cat, it can feel like a small piece of your presence remains behind. And when combined with a calm departure routine, that familiar scent can help create a stronger feeling of security. But what happens after the door finally closes may surprise even experienced cat owners. They monitor every movement. They watch every step. They seem to know exactly what's coming. And sometimes, they do. Because long before you walk out the door, your cat has already started reading the situation. What happens during the first 10 minutes after you leave? This is the part most cat owners never see. Once the door closes and your footsteps disappear, many cats go through a brief adjustment period. Some walk directly to the door and sit there. Some move from room to room searching for signs of their owner. Others jump onto a favorite perch and stare toward the entrance. And a few may begin vocalizing. These reactions don't necessarily mean your cat is suffering. They're often part of the transition from having you present to being alone. The problem arises when that transition becomes difficult. A cat that starts the day in a highly aroused emotional state may stay alert much longer after you leave. Instead of relaxing, they remain focused on your absence. They listen for sounds. They watch the door. They wait. And the longer this heightened state lasts, the more likely other stress-related behaviors become. This is why the minutes before departure matter so much. The emotional state your cat is in when you leave often influences how they spend the next several hours. Some cats express this stress clearly. They may scratch furniture, knock objects off shelves, vocalize repeatedly, or develop unusual bathroom habits. Others show stress in quieter ways. They may stop grooming, ignore food, remain frozen in one location, or sleep excessively. These signs can be easy to miss because they don't always look dramatic. But they still provide valuable information about how your cat is coping. Fortunately, there's something powerful that helps many cats feel more secure. Predictability. Cats are creatures of habit. They thrive when life follows recognizable patterns. When routines are consistent, the world feels safer. When routines become unpredictable, uncertainty increases. That's why building a calm departure ritual can be so effective. Notice the word ritual. Not performance. Not emotional goodbye. Not dramatic farewell. A ritual is simple, predictable, consistent. Perhaps you refill the water bowl. Place a puzzle feeder nearby. Spend a quiet minute beside your cat. Then leave calmly. When this same sequence happens day after day, your cat begins to understand it. The routine becomes familiar. And familiar things are less frightening. One mistake many owners make is engaging in intense play immediately before leaving. Play is wonderful. It provides exercise, mental stimulation, and enrichment. But timing matters. A vigorous play session raises excitement levels. The pupils dilate. The muscles tense. The heart rate increases. This is perfectly healthy during play. However, if the game ends seconds before departure, some cats remain highly activated after you leave. Instead of winding down naturally, they are left with elevated energy and no outlet. That's why many behavior experts recommend ending active play at least 30 to 45 minutes before departure. This gives your cat time to groom, relax, and settle. By the time you leave, their emotional state is much calmer. Another helpful tool is environmental enrichment. Think about your cat's day from their perspective. If they spend 8 hours alone in a completely unchanging environment, boredom can become a problem. Cats are natural hunters. Their brains are designed to explore, observe, and solve problems. Simple additions can make a huge difference. Puzzle feeders, window perches, bird feeders outside a safe window, rotating toys, climbing spaces. All of these encourage healthy mental stimulation while you're away. For some cats, even low background noise can help. A quiet radio, soft ambient sounds, or gentle music. Not because cats necessarily enjoy music the way humans do, but because complete silence can feel unusual in a home where people are normally present. Now let's talk about something equally important: your return home. Most cat owners focus heavily on departures. But homecomings matter too. When you walk through the door after a long day, your cat may run toward you. They may meow loudly, rub against your legs, follow you from room to room. It's a heartwarming moment. And the natural instinct is to respond with maximum excitement. Many people immediately scoop up their cat, use a high-pitched voice, offer intense affection, and turn the reunion into a major event. But interestingly, the way you return can influence how your cat feels about future departures. If every return becomes an enormous emotional experience, some cats begin placing greater emotional importance on the entire separation cycle. Instead, try something slightly different. When you come home, greet your cat warmly but calmly. Acknowledge them. Speak softly. Then take a few minutes to settle in. Put your bag down. Take off your shoes. Get comfortable. After that, spend quality time together. This creates a smoother emotional transition. The reunion remains positive without becoming overwhelming. Over time, many cats learn that departures and arrivals are simply normal parts of life, not major emotional events. And that's exactly what we want. Because confidence grows when experiences become predictable. One final thing worth paying attention to is how quickly your cat relaxes after you return. A cat that settles quickly often handled the absence well. A cat that remains unusually clingy or restless for a long period may be telling you something. They may have spent much of the day in a heightened state of alertness. If that's happening regularly, it's worth looking closely at the routine surrounding your departures. Small changes can create surprisingly large improvements. A calmer goodbye. A predictable routine. A familiar scent. A comfortable environment. A gentler homecoming. Individually, each change may seem minor. Together, they can transform how your cat experiences time alone. The truth is that most cats are far more emotionally connected to their humans than many people realize. They notice our habits. They recognize our routines. They learn our patterns. And they often understand far more than we give them credit for. So the next time you prepare to leave the house, remember this. Your cat isn't just watching the moment you walk out the door. They're watching everything that happens before it. And those few minutes may shape their entire day. But leaving your cat alone is only part of the mystery. What they actually do when nobody is watching may surprise you even more. Do they sleep the entire time? Do they wait by the door? Do they secretly patrol the house? The answers might completely change how you see your cat. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another fascinating insight into the hidden world of cats. And tell us in the comments. What does your cat do when you leave the house? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.